Hey everyone, it's Kenji. I am here at the Seattle Aquarium's Animal Care Center, and today I'm going to be making school lunches for a different kind of school. I'm here with Andy Sim. He's the curator of tropical fish and invertebrates.
Yes.
Here at the ACC. This is the Animal Care Center at the Seattle Aquarium, and today we're gonna be feeding some animals.
We are. We've got a large population of different tropical sharks, rays, reef fishes, and these animals will very shortly be making their home in the aquarium's new Ocean Pavilion building, which will be opening later this summer. And we would love to have you join us to take a look at the animal diets that we have, help prepare some of those diets, and work with our team as we go through our feedings today.
I am excited to do that, yeah. I don't get to cook for fish every day. I cook fish frequently, but I don't get to cook for fish very much.
Wonderful. Well, let's head over to the kitchen.
All right, sounds good. So this whole place, I mean, it's honestly not that different from a restaurant prep kitchen here, I think, other than the fact that you don't cook food here, right?
We don't cook the food, but the food that we use is restaurant quality seafood. You know, all of the things that we get are very similar to what you would get delivered in a restaurant. We just don't cook it before we feed it.
All right.
So it's all sustainably sourced restaurant quality seafood for the animals.
You would eat it?
I would, yeah. A lot of times we always joke that if power went out and we couldn't leave the building, all we'd need was a hot plate and some butter and we'd be good to go.
This is some serious seafood. So this is your prep list?
Yes.
Each one of these is a different animal?
Yeah, so
right?
so up at the top we have everything divided out by our large elasmobranchs, so our sharks and rays.
Got it.
And then down here for some of our mixed species tropical fish exhibits, we have it by the habitat itself.
So you're large. So which animal is this?
That is our bowmouth guitarfish.
Got it. So your bowmouth guitarfish gets to eat 4 lobsters and a crab every day.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday. Oh,
Yep.
Okay. Saturday's lobster day. Today is what? Today's
Friday, so we have
today's crab
crab,
day.
squid, and shrimp.
Crab, squid, and shrimp. All right. Sounds great.
So here's what we're pulling from today. We're going to be doing the bigger items. Michaela's going to be working on some of our smaller fish habitats. So we can get started with our Dungeness crab for our bowmouth guitarfish. So how we'll prep it is we'll go ahead and pull off these little last legs. But then the rest of the whole legs we will use. So we'll just go ahead and rip those off, claws and all, and those can go in her container here. Beautiful.
Okay.
And then we will quarter the body.
So we'll just go right through the shell?
Yeah, typically I find sometimes when they're, there you go.
I think it's a little bit less care than I'd use when prepping for humans.
I imagine so, but yeah, her diet is gonna be 60 to 80% crustacean.
Okay.
So the carapace and all of the outer shell, she will digest right through.
What are we doing with these squid?
So the squid are really good. These guys will actually feed whole,
Okay.
but we will depen and debeak. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the beak out,
Okay.
and we're going to pull out their pen,
Got it.
which is
A little cartilagey.
the only little hard part in their bodies.
Do the fish ever get like do they get like a multivitamin or anything like that? Is there like an equivalent of?
Yeah, so we will actually be offering that today during the feed.
What form does the multivitamin come in?
They are just water-soluble tablets.
Just a tablet, got it.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll stuff it in a food item.
So that's what I was gonna ask, like, do you like hide it inside like a squid body or something?
We do, yes. It's kind of like giving vitamins to your dog sometimes. We have certain animals that are what we call pill ninjas, in that they
You're
will,
much better at this than me. Sorry.
in that they will find the pill in their food and spit it out.
Yeah, I like how it says fed by zoo professionals, as if like there are amateur shark and ray enthusiasts out there looking for the stuff the professionals use. Do you have restaurant experience?
Yes.
Yes. Back of the house?
A little bit. I did catering on boats for years, and I grew up in restaurants. My dad owned restaurants.
So this is
when I
all
was
kind of old
younger,
hat to you?
So it definitely helped.
Putting together prep lists?
Yes. There you can see we have this is what we pull the night before to prepare for the next day.
Yeah, I wish every restaurant I worked at was this organized.
Yeah, we all have a little bit of restaurant experience in some capacity, so.
Is there the equivalent of like fish candy?
Shrimp is probably, yeah.
Okay.
That is definitely one of the ones that's like a go-to. If you put
go-to,
shrimp in a
yeah.
diet, they're good to go.
Can you show me how you want these?
Yeah,
cut?
sure.
That looks similar. Does that look okay?
Yeah, that looks
okay?
great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
This is the first time I've been like asked to specifically not cut evenly,
So yeah, so we'll just drop those guys in.
and they can just go right through the shell.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Can you hear them do that? Do you see them do that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's like a big crunch.
Good crunch, satisfying crunch.
It is a good, satisfying crunch sound. Even with the bowmouth guitarfish, when we feed her very crunchy things like the clam
Yeah.
or the crab and the lobster, if you're down on the wall of the habitat, you can
hear
kind
it.
of hear the crunching as she chews through it.
Crunchy on the outside, soft in the middle.
Yes.
It's like making tapas.
I've done things before for animals that were very picky, where we'll do what we call squid burritos, where you'll take like a big squid and stuff like a capelin or an anchovy or something in it, so that they have, it's a whole surprise.
It's like a turducken of sort. Okay, a cape of squid.
Yeah.
Cape of squid.
If you come up with a good turducken-like name for that, let me know.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it
All
for
right.
16Q today.
It's like a raw, deconstructed bouillabaisse. So this is the Indo-Pacific leopard shark, is that right?
Yep, Indo-Pacific leopard shark. He's one of the two that we have here at this facility right now. And he's like, hello, I am ready to eat.
And they're part of a sort of reintroduction program, is that right?
They are part of a reshark program. So we get different, from different facilities across the United States, we get egg casings from a specific genetic type. And they come here, they make a brief pit stop, and then they are sent over to Indonesia to be released. So today we're feeding him these propeller clams and some surf clam.
Great.
And actually, you might have smelled them during food prep. They smell slightly like
Melanie.
cucumber, yeah. So for now, to just let him know that it's the beginning of the session and that dinner time is here, we are gonna tap 3 times. And I will be using a whistle too when he comes to the target to tell him good job that he did it.
Oh yeah, hi there. Look at those tiny eyes, huh?
So, there we go. We'll just, I know, that's not it though. Good job, bud.
He's got little kind of catfish-like whiskers, huh?
Yep, little marbles. And then he'll do his little victory lap while he chews. There you go. Come on.
It's like, I don't wanna. There it goes.
There you go. And sometimes he can be lackadaisical.
He's just chilling.
He's like, I had 2 pieces. I think I'm good.
Do we get to feed fish? Is that the idea? All right, what are we feeding?
We are going to feed our spotted eagle rays today.
Okay.
We have 3 of them. So they have an orange target. We're going to put it in the water. We're going to touch their snoots onto that target. Then Michaela's going to breach down with our whistle, and then she's going to reinforce.
Can they hear? They can hear that whistle underwater.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty wild, but yeah, they do react to it. Yeah, it's just kind of like a little secondary reinforcement of, hey, you did a good job. You did what we were asking you to do. So these 2 are the adults. That's our juvenile, the little one.
Okay. Are you recognizing them by their spots, by their size, their?
Kind of all of the above, but yeah, when you have some that look like more similar to each other than not, their spot patterns are gonna identify them.
Whoa! Look at that! Oh my God!
She's ready.
Yeah, look at those spikes on their head, huh?
Yeah.
They've got spikes like a Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, she's very much like a prehistoric creature.
Yeah. Where are they native to?
These are native to the Indo-Pacific, and the kind of South Pacific.
And they're endangered?
They are critically endangered, yes.
And that's through habitat destruction?
Habitat destruction. Because they're a bottom-dwelling animal, you know, when people do big trawling nets, they get tangled up in that as bycatch.
So they live on the bottom. What's the word for that again? Not
Benthic.
Benthic, not pelagic, benthic.
Benthic, yes. So
Benthic
she
for
is
bottom.
predominantly a benthic species.
Okay.
One of the ways you can tell that is because her mouth is located on the bottom of her body. So naturally they would feed at the bottom, but feeding her at the surface like this is a little bit better just for us to be able to monitor her welfare. It allows me to do some tactile work with her So while giving her pets is fun, it actually serves a purpose that is a little bit greater, which is it allows her to get comfortable with the idea of being touched and being handled. So that way, when we need to catch her up to do her annual exams, or if she were to need any medical care, that us touching her doesn't become scary. Yes, exactly.
And is that a little clicker you've got going there?
Yeah, so for some of the animals, we use a whistle. For her, she gets a clicker.
Like a dog training whistle.
Like a dog training whistle. And that is used as what we call a bridge. So I will do 3 clicks underwater to call her to initiate the feed session. And then when she touches the target, it takes me a minute to get the food to her. So the click is to hold her attention during that time, to bridge between the action that she did and the reinforcement she'll be getting.
When I became a dad, I've never been like more obsessed with like what goes in and what comes out of another creature's body.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way with the food? Like, do you carefully watch what goes in and comes out of them?
Yeah, when we, so we get in and dive this habitat once a week. And part of what you're doing when you're diving is you're cleaning up that poo, but you're also maybe taking a look at it to make sure everything looks how it's
like
supposed
it's going
to.
the right shape?
Yes. Fun poop fact, because everyone loves a fun poop
I
fact.
love fun poop facts, yeah.
Sharks and rays don't have intestines like we do.
Okay.
They have a spiral colon. So it's one organ in the inside has a spiral to it.
Okay.
So their poops often come out kind of corkscrew shaped.
Interesting.
See, animal poop is fun.
Kids love poop.
Yeah.
Everybody loves poop. I like those eagle rays.
Yes, these guys are always looking for any opportunity for.
They're like little puppies.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. They're just kind of like hanging out under the table, huh?
Definitely.
Like my dog.
So we'll just put this back in the fridge, and then this will be her PM feed.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do seahorses now.
Heck yeah, we are. So you got all the super cool feeds.
Oh no,
right
I'm
off the
excited
bat.
about the seahorse.
Oh, yeah, love that. All right, so we have a couple line seahorses on inside here. So kind of looking on in, you could see how we have a couple of them just hanging in between all our various plant pieces inside here. So what we have with ourselves today is some brine mixed in with a little bit of our habitat water.
Okay, that brine shrimp.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Now, the big thing about these guys, they don't have teeth like you and I to go ahead and chew up that food. So what these guys typically rely on is a suction method. So we bring the food right on close to their mouths, and then in a quick little flick motion of their head, they'll suck up that food.
They gotta suck it up? Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's like they got built-in straws.
Exactly. We need to feed these guys, not a lot, but on a consistent time basis. For seahorses, they don't have the biggest digestive system at all, and some of the smallest little stomachs, to the point where these guys are consistently in need of food.
So they need food every day. They need to eat 3 times a day.
Oh yeah, 3 times
They're
or as many
very-
opportunities.
What do they use for locomotion?
So a little bit hard to see, but on the central dorsal, where you could kind of imagine where their chest would be, right behind that, they have a tiny little dorsal fin. And as these guys start swimming around, you'll really see that kick into action. So they can definitely utilize that to move around. The big thing about it though, these guys typically live within low flow areas.
Right.
Because if there's a strong enough surge, these guys will just get swept away onto who knows where.
Because they're very light?
They are. So I don't think that these guys are considered zooplankton, but even things like jellyfish, they're considered plankton. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So it's more so of a question, can these guys swim actively against a current system? And that's like a main distinguishing factor.
Got it. Oh, this guy's hungry. All right, he's really going for it.
Oh, yeah.
And with seahorses, the males carry the baby seahorses. Is that correct?
Word is carry. So yeah, the female will go ahead and have the eggs. The male will go ahead and fertilize them, and then the female will go ahead and transfer. Yep.
And then they get passed to the male. And then, so the male is the one that actually
Incubates.
and delivers.
So snaps for that.
Yeah. Well, I hope this was as exciting and interesting for everybody else as it was for me. For me, this was really an awesome experience. I am a huge fan of the aquarium. My family and I, we come here twice a month or so. It's definitely our most used membership by far. If you want to help out the aquarium, you can make a donation to seattleaquarium.org/onefuture, and I will see you around the Ocean Pavilion when it opens up this summer. Very exciting stuff going on, and I'm glad you could join us. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, I will see you next time. Bottled oyster eggs and ovarian tissue.
That's for corals. That's for corals.
It's the new Jamba Juice flavor.